Hi, I'm Stephanie Hope Dodd of Shifting TV, and my guest today is here to share with you about nutrition for you and for your family, about how you can feel more vibrant, more healthy, wake up feeling like amazing. Her name is Sarah Outlaw, and she is a master herbalist. She is a female business owner of an eco boutique online store. She also runs a very successful food blog called The Real Food Outlaws, and has now really transitioned and delved really deep into nutrition and is an advanced nutrition response testing practitioner. Sarah, thank you so much for being here with us, for sharing your knowledge, and for bringing so much to the world about nutrition.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
Absolutely. You have been working with families, with mothers, with people across, the state of New Jersey with herbs for many, many years. So
Right.
why the switch into really focusing on nutrition, and more specifically, working with individuals on what nutrition looks like for them instead of nutrition as a general sense?
Okay, well, I found that natural remedies don't work as well if people's nutrition is not correct. So really the nutrition is the foundation. So figuring out what they're eating that's causing the problem in the first place was what the key was.
Okay.
So once I was able to make that shift mentally and say, okay, it's not about throwing some herbs at someone, it's really about saying, what are you eating? Let's get to the bottom of that first, and then let the herbs do their job.
Oh, I love that, because when I open up my cabinet and I look at supplements, like, I'm always buying tinctures of herbs or capsules, or making them myself, drinking tea, and it sounds like it would be really beneficial to know, okay, so this is what I'm needing right now based
Right.
on where my body's responding best
Right.
to it, rather than just kind of like, a few drops here, a few drops there, let's see what's going on.
Exactly.
Do you find that a lot of your patients or clients that come to you have kind of been delving into herbal remedies or alternative holistic remedies?
Yeah, I would say a lot of them, percentage-wise, I would say probably close to 85% have already tried some kind of a natural remedy, and that either worked or it didn't. They saw some results or it didn't, and they just really want to see what more is out there. What is this really something that's going to help them, or are they wasting their money, kind of a thing.
So tell us a little bit, what is nutrition response testing?
Nutrition response testing is a way for us to find stress in the body and figure out what's behind someone's symptoms. So what we do is we go in and we test them specifically for food sensitivities, for immune challenges, for things like heavy metal toxicity, chemicals, even scars. We even look for scars to see if there's any interference in the nervous system that would be affecting their symptoms. So what are the symptoms coming from? So that's the difference between us and other healthcare providers, is that we are looking for the cause, not just to cover up the symptom.
Yeah. So, and it sounds like you're not just looking at nutrition, you're kind of looking at, like, why is the body maybe not absorbing a
Right.
certain nutrient that maybe you're already eating, but it's not really working
Yes.
fully through the body.
Yes, we're looking for digestive issues. We're also looking for nutritional imbalances and deficiencies. So we're looking to see what nutrients you're actually deficient in.
So that leads me to my next question. It seems like there's so many kids out there today that are suffering with allergies or, on medications, because there's no other way for the parents to get them to be able to, like, be comfortable in the day and sleep in the day. And it's not that we're a generation that just wants to throw medicine at our kids, but we want our kids to be comfortable, right? We want them to raise up being confident. And so it seems as if that's kind of, as a society, the Band-Aid that we found.
Right.
So my thought and my question is, when we see kids that are having sensitivities or intolerances to food or to allergies, does it really stem just with our modern diet, or is this something that started long before and is more of a generational thing, that maybe if the child's sensitive, one or both of the parents is as well?
Right. Yeah, a lot of it is environmental. A lot of it is the food supply that we have today, but really what it stems back to is what your mother ate, what her mother ate, what her mother before her ate. So it's really a generational thing. So what's happening is people are, the farther you are removed from where you originally came from. So for example, I'm from Italy, so my great-grandmother came over here from Italy. ate pasta, lived on the Mediterranean Sea, so she had seafood and fresh everything all the time. They came over here and they still kind of ate fresh as much as they could.
Yeah.
But then as the generations go, we go after World War II, that's where the cutoff thing is. Okay, now we're more into more processed foods. That's convenient. Women went to work and then it was more convenient to have the processed foods, and it was propagandized and marketed as this great thing. And then we continue on through the chain here of people generationally, and we come to the point where the diet has really affected each child born. So as we move through, we're seeing more allergies, more eczema. I didn't know anyone with any of those things. Even I'm 37, even as a child in school, didn't know anyone with those things. Now our hospitals are full of kids with cancer. What's going on? We're more health conscious now than we were. So we're really trying to figure that out.
Yeah, and that makes sense that it stems from someplace else, because some of these kids, they are being fed like well foods, but their bodies seem to already have had this predisposition to being ill.
Yeah, they already have the weakness. They already have the poor gut health. You hear the word being thrown around a lot now is microbiome. We've been hearing that a lot lately, and what's happening is kids are being born and their guts are already deficient, right, and they haven't even had any food yet. What's going on with that? It's just, it comes from the mother, it comes from her mother, it's just passed on.
And I think that the important thing to note is that, like, if you're sitting here watching this, it's not something to feel guilty about, like, oh my gosh, I passed this on to my child, but it's more this awareness and this knowledge. So if a parent's sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, I did this, like, now it's my fault, or it's my parents' fault, how quickly can that be remedied? How quickly can this whole process start to change?
Yeah, so normally it would take 3 to 4 to up to 7 generations to fix it, but with nutrition response testing, we are seeing a 1-generation turnaround. So you're able to repair the damage in the children and in yourself very quickly, so that we stop this cycle of degeneration, which is fantastic. Yeah,
that's great news.
Yeah,
that's great news for, I know, lots of people who will be happy, absolutely, to hear that.
So there's a remedy, so it's good.
Yeah, wonderful. So we just talked about working with children and the generational link and the parents and how this whole process kind of got started a long time ago. So I'm wondering, the people coming to you, are they just kind of coming to you because it's like, oh, I hear that nutrition's like a place to be focusing on and I should start looking into it, or are the individuals coming to you already sick and tired and have maybe tried other remedies and are looking for the root cause?
Yeah, most of the people are coming because they've tried everything else, and they're coming to me as a last resort. They've gone the medical route, they've gone other natural remedies and natural practitioners, and they just haven't seen the results. They see, oh, they're okay for a little while, they get better, and then they just fall back in. So they're coming to me just pretty much defeated, saying, what can you do for me, kind of a thing. And then I have other people who are have never done anything natural, and this is a whole new thing for them, and they just want to try to see what it's all about. So that's kind of a cool blank slate kind of a
How lucky that you kind of get to guide these people into this whole probably new way of living for them, and I see you as like a mentor. And who better? I'm sure that lots of nutrition response testing practitioners are amazing. I love your background of having the herbalism, of already eating real whole foods for so long, of having this like very successful food blog that you have references that you can guide and steer them to.
Yeah, and that's been really helpful for me because I have my herbal medicine background and nutrition, and then I'm able to use nutrition response testing as the tool to figure things out on a deeper level for people. And then it enhances the herbalism, enhances the nutrition.
That's fantastic. Do you have a success story to share with us? Somebody that you can think of that like, yeah, this is really making a difference in their life.
I do. I have a young dad. He has 4 children, ages 5 and under. And he works in a law office right now, but he's had a problem with his heart for probably since he was in his mid-teens, about 15 years old. And this heart condition has been undiagnosed by doctors. He's gone through every test you can imagine, and they tell him there's nothing wrong with his heart. So he comes to me because it's become a monthly issue. He's had about 4 days a month where he's having terrible heart pains. He's fatigued. He can't work. He can't do anything. Can't be a dad, really. He has to be in bed. So he's been coming to me about a year now, and from the very first time he came to me, he stopped having those chest pains. So we would go month after month, and we would keep track. And he's done really, really well, and he has a great quality of life now. Doesn't miss work, doesn't miss time with his kids. His wife and his children all come to see me as well. So we have a whole family coming, 4 kids, mom and dad, and it's been really beneficial to their family.
That's great that they're all supporting each other in this journey. And as someone who helps, look at stress and how can we relieve it and the anxiety,
Right.
I mean, that's life-changing, not just for the dad who's now feeling better, but
Right.
for the kids who are probably carrying all this worry about, like, what's going on with dad in a way that maybe they couldn't understand and process.
Yeah.
So this is really, I can tell, shifting for everyone in the family.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so we know that this works. Walk me through the process.
Okay. So when someone comes in, we do a series of baseline tests on them. We do the usual, like weight, blood pressure. We do body fat percentage. We want to see, how their body's functioning. We'll take measurements if they're coming in for weight issues. We want to take measurements of the neck and the waist and things like that. And then we go into what's called a heart rate variability test, where we actually test the internal stress of the body using a computer and a mechanism that we wrap around their body.
Okay.
It gives me an internal real age for them, and it really tests
Yeah.
what their stress is going on the inside without them doing anything, with them just laying down and standing up. So it's kind of a cool thing.
I have a feeling that's probably more accurate than the Wii that has this thing that you do different jabs on, and it gives you what your actual age is based on physicality, which is cool and fun. But I feel like there was so much variance in that day to day, whereas this seems a little bit more based in science.
Yes. Yeah, it's actually measuring the autonomic nervous system, which is the part of the nervous system that does the things we don't have to think about, like blinking our eyes and breathing. So it's giving us a measurement of that, and it tells me how fit someone is on the inside, and how old they are, how old their organs are, really. Then after we do that, we do the actual muscle testing. So we will see if they're testable first. We have them stand up, and we test their arm to see if they're able to hold it up, and if it unlocks and locks properly. And then we test each organ for weakness. If the arm goes down, there's some kind of stress going on in the body. If the arm stays strong, the organ is fine.
Okay.
So then once we determine what organ the body needs to be handled first, we we have these little boxes that look like this. They look like little VCR cases.
Okay. That's exactly what it looks like. Some people, some kids, teens watching that
will
maybe
not know what this is, VCR case. But they have vials inside. So you can see all the vials here that have all the major food sensitivities that people most have, immune challenges, parasites, things like that, metals and chemicals. So we put the vials on the body, and if the body reacts to them, we will get an indicator with the arm either going up or down. Once you determine what stressors the body has from those vials, we pick the nutrition that will fix those things. So then we have herbs or nutrition or homeopathy that will correct the nutritional deficiencies that someone has. And then we create a program for them, individualized, so it's very targeted. So you can come in and your husband can come in, you have the same exact symptoms, but you have completely different remedies for those things. It's cool because it's very individualized.
I love that individualized part. I'm also a little scared, coming to you, are you going to tell me I can't have coffee? Are you going to tell me I can't have my favorite treats? How do you work that process when somebody truly tests week on multiple things that are a staple in their daily life?
Yeah, it's really difficult, especially someone coming from a standard American diet. It's hard to get rid of those foods. It's very difficult. So we don't want you to have to jump up into a 30-second story window without taking the elevator. We really want you to go on a step-by-step, we call it a gradient. So you can take 6 months to come up with food if you need to, but we really coach you through week by week on looking at a food log, which we require as part of a program, and say, okay, you drink a Dr. Pepper for lunch every single day. How about, instead of drinking 7 this week, you go to 6? Do you think you'll be able to do that? And then they'll say, I can do 4. I don't need to do 6. And then we really work with the person and say, okay, great. Let's just do what you can do. And then eventually, they're off of everything. They do their 90-day food elimination, and then they're good to go.
Perfect. So it's not just individualized in the testing, it's really individualized in the whole plan.
Yeah, and we offer meal plans. My blog has meal plans. We really do try to make it easier for people to make that transition so that it's a sustainable change that lasts beyond the program.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so spill it. What's one thing that hardly anyone can ingest on a daily, weekly, normal basis and still be vibrant and healthy?
Grains, for sure. Almost every single person comes up sensitive for grains. And it's not just the gluten usually, it's actually all grains.
Yeah, so someone maybe on a gluten-free diet that's still ingesting a lot of the packaged foods that are non-gluten, that maybe aren't feeling as well as they thought that they could be off of gluten.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times people will go off gluten and they feel great for a while, but then they just feel something's not right. And then they come in and it's corn or oats or rye, something else.
All right. So are you willing to show this? Can we do a little demo?
Yeah,
Let's
sure.
test me on grains. Let's see what happens.
Sure, sounds good. Let's do it. Okay, Stephanie, we've already determined that you are a nutrition response testing case. So what we're going to do now is see if you are sensitive to grains.
Okay. And
so
because that was the number one thing that most people. Okay.
Yeah, so grains are the number one thing that people test off of that they can't tolerate. So we're going to see how you test. So go ahead and hold this in your left hand.
Okay.
And raise up your right arm. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and push down and just try to resist my pressure.
Okay.
I'm going to see if this is sensitive to you.
Okay.
And yes, it is.
That wasn't even a.
No,
That was.
yes, if there was no reaction, your arm would have just stayed strong.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Do this again.
Yeah. So if I take it away, watch what happens. Solid as a rock. I could push down as hard as I wanted and nothing would happen.
So that means grains are doing what to my body?
They are causing some kind of a sensitivity that's causing the organs to not function at optimum.
Okay.
Right. And it's causing nutritional deficiencies. It's causing your body to not be able to absorb nutrients.
Guess I'm going off grains. All right, so if someone says, all right, I need that, let me get tested. Obviously, you're taking clients here in New Jersey, probably you're close enough to Pennsylvania, Delaware, that people can come and travel to you. What if somebody's not in the tri-state area? Where can they go to find a qualified and certified nutrition response testing practitioner?
They can go, if they Google Ulan Nutritional Systems, ULAN.
And we'll put a link up to it.
Then there's a clinician finder. So it'll say locate a clinician, and you just put your state and your zip code in, and then it will pop up whoever the highest level of graduate is in your area, which is really cool.
All right, fantastic. Yeah. So no grains. All right.
Yeah.
What about, does somebody ever get that back? Or is grains just one of those things?
Well, grains tend to be one of those things that really irritate people long term. However, after you do a program, you can slowly start adding things back. And if you want to and your body tests well, it's something that you can add back.
Okay. In little bits here.
Little bits, yeah. So I wouldn't eat them every day, but I eat them. And it's very, very enjoyable. How we teach you how to eat is a very enjoyable way, and you'll realize how delicious grain-free food is.
Oh,
and, yeah, it's really yummy.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your time, your wisdom, your knowledge. And if anyone has any questions, Sarah will be available, I'm sure, to communicate via the blog, email, and everything.
Definitely.
So,
thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
All right.